1 north of Beaver Dam, where savings come standard. Chevy, find new roads.
We make it easy in Beaver Dam.
Tune in for Dr. Bert Callahan and Luke Luncher on their informational talk show presented by Agnesian Healthcare this Tuesday at 11:10 a.m. on WBEV. The topic this month is all about complementary and alternative medicine. They can answer any questions that you have, so please feel free to call 885-4446. You won't want to miss it. That's this Tuesday at 11:10 a.m. on WBEV with Dr. Bert Callahan and Luke Luncher, brought to you by Agnesian Healthcare.
The emergency department and urgent care at Columbus Community Hospital is staffed by Madison emergency physicians, board certified in emergency medicine, the same physicians who staff the ER at St. Mary's Hospital in Madison. Open 24/7. The recent recipients of the Guardian of Excellence Award, Columbus Community Hospital, is here for you.
What world after years of cataracts? For Jenny, her
things in my house were bright,
changing.
Oh my gosh, there are no words to explain. Even when I had the cataract removed, there are no words to describe. Oh, I would definitely recommend Vita Park Associates in Beaver Dam. They explained everything in detail. They let me know if my eyes were suitable for this kind of surgery or not. Were very honest and forthcoming, and I had time to decide if I wanted to or not, and so on. Oh, I would recommend them to anybody that had any eye issues.
Visit VitaParkEye.com and see how your eyes can seriously improve with age. Partially covered by Medicare, results may vary.
Stacy from Slumberland is here with us, and every time we go into Slumberland, we see beautiful furniture, beautiful arrangements. How is that done? You do that yourself?
We do. So we have a really great merchandising team, interior designers, that really help guide us. And obviously, most of the staff has been there for a very long time, so we're able to pick up on all those traits. But the good news is you could stop in, take a look at the living room design, and an interior designer decorated that whole living room. Is we can customize stuff. A lot of our sectionals we can make smaller. We can rearrange and put the shades on the other side if you want to. A lot of the sectionals we can recreate into a sofa and a love seat combination, or vice versa. And there's really no additional cost at all to the customer. So you can really customize with our help, because that's what we do. You can customize your whole living room set, make the sectional smaller, make it larger, change color options, and we can take care of all of that for you.
The Idea Exchange is on AM 1430 WBEV. You're tuned into your source for delicious recipes, helpful household hints, and clever tips that you can use every day. Call the show and offer up your own ideas. 920-885-4446. That's 920-885-4446. It's the Idea Exchange on AM 1430 WBEV. Here's your host, Brenda Murphy.
And good morning. It is Thursday, May 30th. It's almost the end of May already. And today we are doing our show live. We're doing the local dish out on our back deck. Well, it's not really a back deck, kind of a primitive back deck, but we're prepared. It's not going to rain. Bill Leisses tells me it's not going to rain, and I believe that too. It's not going to rain until 11:30, quarter to 12, after we have everything broken down and packed up. But anyway, we are going to do some great grilling recipes, showcase those for you today. I say we, but it's Bill who's going to do all the work. In my section, my portion, I'm going to tell you how to pack a cooler, because really, the end of May, we're heading into summertime, and maybe you do a lot of camping, maybe you do a lot of tailgating, maybe you just like to enjoy the outdoors and go to various picnics or family reunions and things. So we've got you covered for grilling things today. Remember, you can listen to us on AM 1430 WBEV, or go to dailydodge.com. Click on the video tab, and you can watch the entire program as well. The beginning of my shows, I always start out with bizarre holidays, and today is Mint Julep Day. Now, you would think that's mainly around Kentucky Derby time, but the Kentucky Derby used to be run later in May, and this maybe gives people one last chance to enjoy a delicious mint julep, which of course is a refreshing Southern classic drink made with mint leaf, bourbon, sugar, and water. And in the southern states where mint julep is more associated with the cuisine, spearmint is the mint of choice. Now, preparation on this drink can vary from bartender to bartender, but it's believed that mint julep originated in the southern United States sometime during the 18th century. The term julep is generally defined as a sweet drink, particularly one used as a vehicle for medicine. And each year, more than 120,000 mint juleps are served at Churchill Downs over the 2-day period of the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby Run. It's also Water a Flower Day. This is an opportunity to care for the gardens of those who might be homebound or in the hospital or on vacation. Or you might just want to visit a friend, take them some flowers to cheer them up, make sure that they're freshly picked and have just been watered. And it's also Hole in My Bucket Day. Now, this is a wacky holiday in honor of that fun children's song, There's a Hole in My Bucket. Maybe you remember it from your childhood or singing it with your children. The song came from Germany in the 1700s, and it's about a back and forth conversation between Henry and Liza. Henry needs to fix the hole in his bucket, and in each stanza, he asks Liza for advice. In the end, he needs a bucket to carry the water to repair his bucket. And it is also World Multiple Sclerosis Day. This creates an opportunity to boost awareness and connection to those with MS, to resources, and to improve support systems. It's one of the most common diseases of the central nervous system, and MS impacts more than 2.3 million people around the world. The term multiple sclerosis means many scars, and this is related to the areas that appear on the brain and the spinal cord after the myelin covering of our nerves is damaged or dies. The damaged myelin leaves a lesion behind, and these lesions are identified by an MRI when symptoms begin to appear. If you're going to be out and about today, you might want to stop at Walker's Family Restaurant. Of course, you can go in for their soup and sandwich special that they serve at lunchtime. They always change the sandwiches each and every day, and you can choose from 3 different soup choices. You can stop in for breakfast anytime, day or night, and get a delicious breakfast from Walker's. Their waffles, their pancakes, the egg dishes, and you could stop in just for coffee and dessert. Walker's is known for their delicious pies. When you step into the restaurant, you see all those beautiful pies on the left-hand side, and the jumbo muffins, the huge cinnamon rolls, and all of those other delicious baked goods. So take time out of your day today to stop at Walker's on the east side of Beaver Dam and enjoy one of those favorites. And you've probably heard it said that a stitch in time saves 9. Well, you can call Daniel Alt today at Ultimate Sewing Machine Repair to schedule your yearly cleaning and maintenance appointment. A well-maintained machine will relieve any tension and inspire you to continue sewing right on through the year. Daniel is trained to work on all makes and models, and he also provides top-quality service. Daniel has chosen to sell the Eversewn Sparrow line of sewing machines, and there are several models to choose from. So whether you desire to schedule a maintenance appointment or seek out a new sewing machine, make the ultimate decision and call Ultimate Sewing Machine Repair in Fox Lake. That phone number is 920-928-2858. It's so easy, and we're going to show you how it's so easy to pack a cooler in just a couple minutes. And after the 10 o'clock news break, we will show you how to grill up great specials on the grill. We'll take a quick break and be back after these messages.
Home isn't just where the heart is. It's where you can still hear years of dinner table talks, and the floorboards creak in all the right places. At BDCH Hillside Home Care and Hospice, we understand what your home means to you. With personalized care from dedicated, specially trained nurses, therapists, and home health aides, you get the level of care you need, delivered where you're most comfortable, your home. To learn more, call 920-887-4050 today.
Chad at Air Care in Beaver Dam says he's got an air conditioner for your home that sips electricity. You may have heard the commercials about the Carrier furnace that sips gas and saves you money. The electricity sipping Carrier air conditioner, along with the gas sipping furnace, will save you money during the warm weather. It works together with a thermostat that communicates with the air conditioner and the blower on your furnace, telling them exactly when to sip the least amount of energy needed to keep you comfortable. Think of the thermostat like the conductor of a symphony orchestra. But rather than a beautiful symphony, you're getting an incredible level of home comfort, quietness, and dehumidification. There's even a smartphone app that allows you to be the conductor of the orchestra right from your phone. Turn to the experts Air Care and Carrier. Find them at aircareinc.com or call Chad at Air Care in Beaver Dam at 920-356-8860. Financing available.
Prairie Ridge Assisted Living has 3 amazing locations in our area: Beaver Dam, Waupun, and now a brand new center in Mayville. When it comes to assisted living, Prairie Ridge knows the importance of finding the right place that feels like home. And that's why they offer spacious apartment-like rooms that are small pet friendly. With in-room rehab services from physical to speech therapy, they are able to cater to many needs. They also have an on-site hair salon, theater, activities room, full kitchen service, which offers 24/7 care, complete with visiting physicians. Your physical and mental well-being is their top priority. Stop by and visit one of their 3 locations today, or go online to schedule a private tour at prairieridgeassisted.com. Prairie Ridge Assisted Living, where home is first and assisted living is second.
Fall River invites you to their annual village-wide rummage sale and brat fry this Friday and Saturday. The streets will be filled with great deals, and the Fall River Chamber will be serving brats, burgers, and hot dogs both days from 10 until 3 on the corner of North Main and South Street in Fall River. Maps are available at the Fall River Chamber website. This message brought to you by Mickelson Feed Company, Kwame Insurance Service, Riverview Taxidermy Studio, Richards Insurance of Columbus, and Robbins Manufacturing.
And now back to Brenda and the Idea Exchange.
And welcome back to Local Dish. We are outside grilling today. I have an awning covering me, so even though the clouds look threatening, I said it's not going to rain until after we are all done with the production today. Bill Leisses is here from Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. He's going to be grilling for us a number of different things, so you want to make sure that you stay tuned and watch that. And in my portion of the program, I'm going to show you how to pack a cooler. I have just a small cooler that I brought with me, and the first thing you want to do is maybe think about selecting the type of cooler that you want. I use this when I go down to the concerts on the square in Madison. I meet my daughter there, and we try to get to a few of them during summertime. Or this would be great if you were going to the Jam by the Dam concerts that are coming up this summer in Beaver Dam. You want to maybe look for a new cooler if you've got a $20 Rubbermaid that maybe you've had for a long time and it's seen better days. You might want to think about upgrading to a Yeti cooler or Pelican or Orion, or even the Cabela's coolers have all great options with great new products and features available. And use a 2-cooler system. By that I mean you want 1 cooler for food and 1 cooler for beverages. The reason for that is because you're going to be opening up that beverage cooler a lot more frequently to get out a beer or a soda or a bottle of water. And the temperature will, by opening that up more frequently, will tend to lower the temperature in the cooler, and that way you can keep your food items nice and icy cold. When you do cooler prep, you want to start that the day before your tailgate party or your picnic or your camping trip, whatever it might be. Bring your cooler inside. If you store it out in the garage, if you store it in your attic, wherever it might be, you want to bring it to room temperature first, and so you want to do that the day before you're going to be using it. Then you want to clean it thoroughly. Now, you should really do that after each time you use it, but if you're like me, sometimes you don't always get that done. So make sure that it's thoroughly cleaned and dried out, and then you want to pre-chill your cooler. And the way to do that is to fill it with cold tap water, or you can use the hose and fill it up, and then add a couple of bags of ice and chill overnight. You want to chill that at least 12 hours, and then you're going to dump that right before loading your cooler so that you've got it preconditioned and all set to go. And for food prep the day before, you want to prep your vegetables, your fruit. If you're making a marinade, have that all set to go. Remove any excess packaging. For instance, that 6-pack of beer in the cardboard carton, you don't really need to pack it that way. You can get rid of that. If you need to take eggs with you, maybe you're going camping for the weekend and you aren't going to use a whole entire dozen, pack it up in a case that round, but you don't have to take a full dozen eggs. You can just pack them accordingly, because you want to make sure that you utilize every single piece of space that is in your cooler. You also want to use stackable containers. My cooler came with these, but they are airtight, and they'll stack nice and neatly in your cooler so that, again, you're utilizing all of the space possible. Also, you want to make sure that your containers are leak-proof. If you're not sure, maybe you're using a recycled Cool Whip container, something like that, then I would suggest putting it in a Ziploc bag just to make sure that you don't have a mess in your cooler, that it doesn't leak out. Another item that you might want to consider are the flexible cutting boards. They work very well. These are just clear. I got these at the dollar store. But if you are going to be grilling, one of the tips that we like to share, or we will be sharing, is that you want to use colored cutting mats so that you cut your vegetables on the green ones, and you cut your fruits on the orange ones, and you cut the meat on the red one, so that you always use the same and you don't cross-contaminate. And then these will fit, as I'll show you, right inside your cooler, so you have that all set to go. You also want to freeze your foods that you're not going to be using right away. For instance, if you're going camping and on the third evening you're going to be cooking steaks on the grill, you can freeze those first, then put them in the bottom of your cooler so that you don't have to be rummaging around all the time, and they will be ready. You can get them out and thaw them while you are at the campgrounds. But you want frozen foods, keep those frozen. For your other foods that you're not freezing, those you want to make sure are chilled before you put them in the cooler. For instance, any fruits or any other things, you don't want to put a room temperature item in your cooler, because that is going to waste your cooling temperature inside there, because it's going to take that much longer to cool those things down. And what you really want to do is just keep things cold. And you want plastic baggies so that you can put maybe, say, like your paring knives or steak knives. I wrap this up in some paper towel so that it's somewhat protected, and that way when you go to dig in the cooler, you're going to be pulling this out and not grabbing the sharp end of the knife. And don't forget about hand sanitizer. And it's always good to have a small first aid kit on hand. Now, maybe you have that in your car and you carry that with you all the time. Points to you for that. But if you don't, make sure you just grab one from the house so that you do have those along as well. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about packing your cooler.
From lawnmowers to lawn games, Fleet Farm has what you need to have the best backyard on the block. Whether it's season it, smoke it, grill it season, or make your lawn look like a golf course season, we've got something for every season of life. Like patio furniture, mowers and blowers, plus grills and smokers, garden tools, and a huge selection of Midwest-grown plants in our garden center. There's a reason people say, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, you don't need it, because we have it all. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
Stacy, Stacy from Slumberland is here with us, and every time we go into Slumberland, we see beautiful furniture, beautiful arrangements. How is that done? You do that yourself?
We do. So we have a really great merchandising team, interior designers that really help guide us. And obviously, most of the staff has been there for a very long time, so we're able to pick up on all those traits. But the good news is you could stop in, take a look at the living room design, and an interior designer decorated that whole living room. What we do is we can customize stuff. A lot of our sectionals we can make smaller. We can rearrange and put the shades on the other side if you want to. A lot of the sectionals we can recreate into a sofa and a love seat combination, or vice versa. And there's really no additional cost at all to a customer. So you can really customize with our help, because that's what we do. You can customize your whole living room set, make the sectional smaller, make it larger, change color options, and we can take care of all of that for you.
Plan your next getaway with the ease and comfort Lamers Tour and Travel provides. Sit back and relax with luxury coach tours all over the United States. Check out their scheduled trips at lamerstour.com.
My Aunt Bella was telling a story, and her speech was a bit slurred. Her smile was drooping. Was she having a stroke? I knew it was time to run through the B FAST checklist. B, balance. Bella was fine. E, eyes. Her vision was fine. F, face. Oh, the drooping. A, arms. She could lift both arms. S, speech. Oh, definitely slurred. T, terrible headache. She had one. Signs of a stroke. I called 911 and saved Aunt Bella's life.
Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Covered Health Stroke Program.
And this portion of the ID Exchange brought to you by Hoekstra's Market and Greenhouse, Highway A, Fox Lake. Like them on Facebook or visit online at hoekstras.net. That's HOEKSTRAS.net. Now back to Brenda.
And welcome back to the ID Exchange local dish that we are doing today. We're out in the back and we are cooking. Bill Leisses just fired up the grill. He's got a lot of great grilling items that he's going to be showcasing for you a little bit later on after the 10 o'clock news, actually. And I've been showing and talking about how to pack a cooler, tips and best practices and so on. When it comes to ice blocks or freezer packs really work the best. If you get a number of these, you want to lay those down in the bottom of your cooler, and that is going to give just a nice base of cold that's going to help keep all of the items that you put in the cooler cold. Also, solid ice packs take longer to melt than just the ice cubes do, and if you don't have the ice packs, you could take bottles of water and freeze those. Sometimes the smaller little mini bottles work the best because you can pack those in to the corners and the crevices in your cooler where you still want to keep air from pocketing. So what you want to do though is dump out about a quarter of the water in the bottle. That way it will allow for any expansion as the bottle is frozen. So you freeze those up ahead of time so you've got them to put into your cooler. And if you're going on a really long trip, dry ice is great for extended trips. It freezes everything it touches, even your fingers, so you have to be very careful and very cautious if you are going to be using dry ice. Packing your cooler is the last thing that you want to do before you head out the door. So again, you would start with the block of ice. You would put those 2 blocks on the bottom of your cooler, and then what you want to remember is to pack the items that you're going to use last first. For instance, if you had desserts or salads, you would put that in here, and then maybe your fruits and veggies, maybe you're going to snack on those first. If you have sauces or marinades, oh, and I did want to show you these. This also works great as in place of ice cubes because you can freeze it flexible, so you can wrap it around the sides. You can lay it in between your layers of containers that you are putting in. So we could do that. We'll pack this up here. If you're going to put in a salad, your condiments, marinades or sauces or butter, you can put those in there. And then you've got space. Now mine has some space on the side for extra things. Maybe I would put a bottle of water in there, Or again, if you take a Ziploc bag, you can put your napkins, your straws, maybe tissues or whatever. And if you get the Command Velcro strip, then you can attach that right to the top of your cooler so that you have everything handy. Oh, and again, the cutting boards, the flexible mats, as you can see, I can just tuck those right in the back side, and when you close that up, again, you have everything all set and ready to go. Now, if you are going on an extended trip or you're going to be camping for a long weekend and you have a really large cooler, it's a good idea to pack all of your breakfast things on the right-hand side and all of the dinner items on the left-hand side. Again, that way you're not digging around through the cooler, keeping it open and longs of time. And while loading your vehicle, you want to keep in the car, not in the trunk. You don't want to put it where it's really going to get hot as you travel to your destination. You want to keep it in a shaded area once you arrive, and you want to cover it, either keep it under a picnic table or maybe just if there's a shade tree. Otherwise, if you have a beach towel, get the beach towel nice and wet, and you can drape that over your cooler, and that again will help keep it a little bit colder longer. You want to keep your cooler closed. I do not have my cooler closed, but you want to keep that closed as often as possible. You only want to go in there when you absolutely need to, again, to preserve all of that cold air that is helping keep all of your food nice and cold. And you don't want to drain the melt water. Contrary to what you might believe, scientific studies show that just keeping that cold water as the ice melts in the bottom will help keep all of your foods cold. Normally at the end of my show, I share a quote of the day, but I'm going to do that right now, and then I do want to talk a little bit about something we talked about the other day. But my quote for the day comes from Dr. Brian Robinson. I had interviewed him back in January of this year. His book was called #Chill, Turn Off Your Job and Turn On Your Life, and I thought since we're talking about chilling things in a cooler, I would share a quote from his book. He says, "The longest journey you'll ever make is the 18 inches between your head and your heart." The longest journey you'll ever make is the 18 inches between your head and your heart. So keep that in mind as you go about your day today. And again, that was from Dr. Brian Robinson. I wanted to talk a little bit before we end the program about the nonstick cooking mats. John Kraft was talking about this. He has one of these that he uses on his grill. We're not going to be using this today, but it looks like this, and it works very well. John likes to use it for seafood and cooking fish. One of our listeners called in yesterday and said that you can get this at Menards, and they're on sale right now, and I went out there and I picked up one of these. You can get a rebate for this costs $3.49, but you pick up the mail-in rebate, and they're going to send you $3.49 certificate that you can use at Menards in the future. So basically, you're getting this free, and they'd make fun little stocking stuffers. It's not too early to think about Christmas because we're already talking about when the Packers are going to be holding their first preseason game. So head out to Menards. They didn't have a whole lot left on the shelf when I was there yesterday, but maybe they have restocked that. So just a fun little thing to use, and according to the people that I've talked to, they say this works really great. So I'm looking forward to using it on my grill. When we come back, we will be welcoming Bill Leisses from Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. We are going to be cooking up a lot of different things. I think he has like 3 or 4 things scheduled to talk about, and we'll be sharing grilling tips throughout the next hour. So keep it right here. Again, remember, you can listen to us on the radio, but you can watch us today, dailydodge.com. Just click on the video tab, and we'll send it back to you, John.
Get the latest agriculture news on the Ag page at dailydodge.com. Brought to you by Coal Oil and Propane.
High-quality, compassionate primary care close to home is the cornerstone of your family's health and wellness. BDCH Medical Clinics in Beaver Dam, Columbus, Horicon, Juneau, and Waupun are here to support you along your personal journey of wellness. Experienced physicians and talented advanced practitioners work with you to prevent illness and disease and care for your health concerns. Learn more about BDCH Medical Clinics close to you. Visit bdch/clinics.com or call 920-887-7181.
Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, beautiful east side of Beaver Dam, has got some great sales, Kale. I see the Smithfield Prime is on sale again.
That's right. Smithfield Prime pork sirloin chops, just $1.69 in the beef department. Something fantastic to throw on the grill this summer.
So good. Bacon on sale, it looks like?
That's right. Oscar Mayer bacon, the 16-ounce package, just $3.99 in the meat department.
Limited one on those. It's such a good deal. One of my favorites is on sale, too.
Over in the produce department, premium strawberries, just $1.49. Yum, yum, yum.
Good for the kids, good to freeze for smoothies later. And, of course, they go great on ice cream, custard, yogurt.
Well, you're in luck. Kemp's ice cream, frozen yogurt, or custard, just $2.99.
All right, I love that. And, of course, a great deal right now. Large eggs, a dozen carton, limited 2 on those, 49 cents. That is unbelievable. Some great deals at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly on the beautiful east side of Beaver Dam.
Do you need to see a dentist now, but you can't get an appointment? Are you looking for a new dentist because your dentist retired? Esser, Krieger, and Borja dental offices in Beaver Dam and Horicon can help. With 3 dentists on staff, Drs. Gene Esser, Ted Krieger, and John Borja, they'll see you promptly. They take the time to listen, and they'll develop a plan to best fit your dental needs. Call the dental office of Esser, Krieger, and Borja in Beaver Dam at 887-1292 or in Horicon at 485-4831 or online at ekvdental.com.
Time for new tires. Pull into the Quick Lane Service at Countryside Ford in Columbus. No purchase necessary. They're located at 330 Transit Road. This is WBEV Beaver Dam.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Calling Special Counsel Robert Mueller, quote, a never-Trumper. The president today is going after Mueller and his investigation.
President Trump with his first on-camera reaction to the statement from outgoing Special Counsel Robert Mueller.
Was, to me, the same as the report. And there's no obstruction. You see what we're saying. There's no obstruction. There's no collusion. There's no nothing.
Asked today if Mueller conducted an honorable investigation, the president said,
I think he's totally conflicted because, as you know, he wanted to be the FBI director, and I said no. As you know, I had a business dispute with him after he left the FBI.
The president in March said he thought Mueller did act honorably. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The president also says he had nothing to do with the White House request to keep the USS John McCain out of sight during his visit to Japan, but he says whoever made that request was well-meaning. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan.
I would never dishonor the memory of a great American patriot like Senator McCain.
A lawsuit being filed today is challenging what it calls Mississippi's racist electoral process. The federal suit says the way state elections are set up, it dilutes the African-American vote. The system requires that statewide candidates win the popular vote and win a majority of the state House districts. President's son-in-law Jared Kushner meeting today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu amid a political mess in Israel.
Netanyahu's failure to form a government almost certain to delay the rollout of the political part of President Trump's Mideast peace plan by at least 5 months. The next Israeli government won't be in place until October. Jared Kushner's meeting with Netanyahu here in Jerusalem now of very limited value. Anything agreed upon is up in the air since it's unclear if Netanyahu can win the September election.
ABC's Jordana Miller in Jerusalem. You're listening to ABC News.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face. And there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere. Your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
Hi, I'm Captain Obvious, and every day thousands of people book trips on Hotels.com. Trips you will later hate like. What's a hate like? It's when you like Becky's picture of another perfect waterfall, even though you kind of hate it. It's not that you hate Becky, it's that you hate that she's there, and you're at work listening to Lisa talk about her alleged food allergies. Don't hate like Becky's trip. Book your own with Hotels.com and get rewarded basically everywhere. Hotels.com. Be there, do that, get rewarded.
New Hampshire lawmakers have just voted to repeal the state death penalty, overriding a veto of the measure by Governor Chris Sununu. Massachusetts is going after an e-cigarette company.
Eon Smoke, which makes Juul-compatible vaping products, engaged in what the Massachusetts Attorney General's office called a concerted advertising campaign on social media channels to attract underage consumers.
Is that an Eon pod, bro? Dude, yeah, these things have 6% nicotine. Those things suck.
This advertising, the lawsuit said, plainly appeals to young people at a time when Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey called e-cigarette use among youth an urgent public health crisis. Eon Smoke said it has taken aggressive actions to combat youth usage. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
A night of relative calm after days of storms and tornadoes. ABC's Jim Ryan has been checking out the devastation in North Texas.
Historians are straining to remember a more active tornado season. In the last 13 days, just under 400 twisters have been spotted in 22 states, coast to coast. 24 were reported on Wednesday alone in Iowa, Illinois, Oklahoma, and here in Texas. Injuries and deaths have been remarkably rare, but the financial toll on the insurance industry will be heavy.
And the finals of the Scripps National Spelling Bee are now underway. 50 kids made it into the last round with more than $50,000 in cash and prizes on the line. The Spelling Bee started with more than 560 contestants. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-899-8922. That's 800-899-8922.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
And for the latest local news online all the time for free, log on to dailydodge.com, where we stream live video today, too, as we go back to Brenda.
That's right, John. You can catch us on dailydodge.com. Just click on the video tab and you can watch the rest of today's program. Afterwards, if you're just listening in the car on AM 1430 WBEV and you want to catch the whole thing, you can check it out later, sometime later this afternoon. It should be available to be able to view the entire program. With me right now is Bill Leisses from Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, and he always joins me every other month to do some cooking demonstrations. And Bill, I know you love to grill, right?
I do. I think we should do it all summer.
Yeah, and all year round if you could,
yeah,
right?
Maybe. We could do it.
And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you some great grilling ideas and hopefully give you a few tips along the way. And what are we going to be featuring today, Bill?
We're going to be doing our almost world-famous brats. I'm going to be doing a pineapple teriyaki and a bacon cheddar. We also have probably 4 or 5 other flavors of them. I'm going to be doing our new Smithfield Prime pork. I think it's about, what, 4 months old or so. We just got this in.
Yeah, I think the last time you were here, you had just gotten it in.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great pork. No added hormones, steroids. It's not injected with that salt solution, but yet it's very tender.
Yes, when you made it in March, you did you do sirloin or a tenderloin, pork tenderloin, I think. It was so melt in your mouth, delicious. Yeah. It was incredible.
That was my first time having it. I heard all the hype, but it
lived up to it. That's for sure.
It did. I'm also going to do a bourbon burger. We also have many of these at the store in the meat department. They also do other flavors of these too. This happens to be a bourbon one. They do a bacon and cheddar. They had a jalapeno one there this morning. I saw. I'm going to grill some corn, and I'm also going to do a pineapple salsa for the pork chop that I'm grilling.
Now, you have set up a Weber grill. We're going to do charcoal grilling. What's the difference? I think you prefer charcoal to gas for most items.
I mean, I do. to me, it's just it's convenience-wise. I think a gas grill, obviously, you come home from work and you just, you turn it on.
Kind of like the stove. You can
Here, you get your hands dirty a little with the charcoal. You have to light it. You have to wait for it. So that's the advantage, I think, of the gas grill. Although with the gas grills now, they sell those little tubes you can buy where you put the pellets in them, so you'll get some of that smoke flavor throughout them. So I mean, to me, it's just a convenience thing. But normally when I do grill, I'm not working, or I'm having my pellet smoker out, or something like that. I just think there's a little more flavor to it.
Right, and I think one of the best. I don't know if you could call it a fragrance, but one of the smells that I really like is open grill, a charcoal grill, and either steaks or brats or burgers, whatever it is. There's just, especially like when you go to Miller Park and all the people that are tailgating, there's just something about that aroma that makes you want to just dig into the food as quickly as possible. So you've had the Coles grilling. Prepping the grill, what are some of the things that you need to do?
With the coals, I mean, I form them into a mound. I light it. You can use one of these chimney starters. I cheated today and got the match light ones. and these are kind of nice if you're going to be grilling for long periods of time, where you're going to need to replenish it.
Okay.
You can start it with one batch, and then when you need another, light it, and then just kind of fill the grill with it. So it's kind of nice for that. Today, obviously, we're not going to be grilling that long, so I didn't really use it.
I know I talked in my presentation about making sure before you start filling your cooler that it's nice and clean. And basically, there's a little bit of cleanup that you should do with your grill before you start it, before each cooking event. And you want to scrape it if you don't have a good grill cleaner. There's a little trick that people can do, and you're going to show that to us, right?
I will. I did not have a grill brush today, so the tinfoil works really well for it, and I'll go over there and show you. I just have a real long tongs here, and
you just take a large sheet of aluminum foil and you kind of ball it up, and that way you can rub that back and forth on the grate. This would be great if you're camping and you forgot to pack the grill brush, or if you just maybe it got misplaced, you're at home, or you just need to clean that off quickly. So that works real well in place of to clean those grill grates. You talked about setting up the coals, and then any other tips to prep the grill that we need to know about?
I usually put the grate on there when I light it, just because if you didn't clean it from the last time after you're done, it kind of helps to burn that off, and then take your grill brush or your foil. Also, in just a little bit here, I'll be moving the coals, so I have a direct heat and an indirect heat. Because I'm going to be doing some brats, and I'm going to cook those on indirect heat.
Okay.
So I'll move the coals to one side and leave the other side kind of bare, so there's not as much heat directly under the meat.
And so for direct heating, I know that you want to use direct heat for larger pieces of meat. You also want to use it when it's items that are just going to cook up pretty quickly, right?
Like a hamburger. The pork chops, I'll use it, the direct heat for that. I mean, I'll watch them. If they start to get charred a little bit too much, I'll move them off to the side a little. But yeah, for kind of the thinner cuts of meat.
Okay. And indirect heating more for vegetables or?
Vegetables, maybe a tougher cut of meat that you want to cook
more slowly.
You want to cook more slowly.
Okay.
It's going to take longer to, break down and get tender. Those type of meats.
Okay. Well, we are going to let Bill get going on that. When we come back, we're going to start out with the different bratwursts. So we'll take a break and be back after these messages.
And this portion of the Idea Exchange also brought to you by Hoekstra's Market and Greenhouse, Highway A, Fox Lake. Like them on Facebook or visit online at hoekstras.net. That's HOEKSTRAS.net.
Spring is a time of renewal and regrowth, but spring is just another season when your mobility is limited by pain or chronic conditions. At the Pediatrics, we maximize your mobility because by combining our team of sports medicine, podiatry, orthopedics, and rehabilitation experts under one roof, the BDCH IMO will get you moving faster, from diagnosis to recovery. Put some spring back in your step. Visit bdch.com/IMO or call 920-887-4039.
Stacy from Slumberland is here with us, and every time we go into Slumberland, we see beautiful furniture, beautiful arrangements. How is that done? You do that yourself?
We do. So we have a really great merchandising team, interior designers, that really help guide us. And obviously, most of the staff has been there for a very long time, so we're able to pick up on all those traits. But the good news is you could stop in, take a look at the living room design, and an interior designer decorated that whole living room. What we do is we can customize stuff. A lot of our sectionals we can make smaller. We can rearrange and put the shades on the other side if you want to. A lot of the sectionals we can recreate into a sofa and a love seat combination, or vice versa. And there's really no additional cost at all to a customer. So you can really customize with our help, because that's what we do. You can customize your whole living room set, make the sectional smaller, make it larger, change color options, and we can take care of all of that for you.
Listen to WBEV online anytime at dailydodge.com. Brought to you by Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly.
Countryside Ford. At Countryside Ford in Columbus, Vince and his crew are ready for their Memorial Day sales event. Countryside Ford has huge savings on their F-150s, like this one, a brand new 2019 Ford F-150 STX cab. Starting at $35,573. Wow, that's $8,000 off MSRP. Here's a sweet deal. A 2019 Ford Escape SE front-wheel drive, starting at just $19,895. That's $7,000 off MSRP. Country they're paying top dollar for local trade-ins. You'll find huge savings when you're at Countryside Ford. And
Countryside Ford. Now let's go back to Brenda and the Idea Exchange.
And welcome back to our video portion, the local dish. We've got Bill Leisses here from Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, and we're going to start out cooking some brats. And I know that Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly has just a wide assortment of different bratwurst flavors. Of course, they have their almost world famous, almost world famous original brats, but they make up a lot of different flavored brats as well. And I know that in talking with Daryl in the past, if there's a particular flavor that you like and you've got a big event coming up, maybe you're hosting a family party or you're going to a family reunion and you want to take a certain special flavored brat, if you just call ahead to the meat department a day or two ahead of time, they can get those ready for you, just on the off chance that they would not have that particular flavor on hand. So what are we cooking today, Bill?
Doing the pineapple teriyaki and the bacon cheddar.
Okay.
Brats.
Two of kind of the favorites, I would say, right?
The bacon cheddar I like a lot. I like this is Daryl's favorite, the pineapple teriyaki. I think I did this at the fair last year, along with a couple other ones. But I'm not going to boil these in beer, or you could boil them in water also. But I think the beer will just
detract from the flavors, right?
Was the word I was looking for, from the flavors. So that's why I'm going to do them over. Boil them first, like a lot of people do in the beer and the onions and things like that. You wouldn't have to cook them as long, and you could put them over a direct heat just to kind of heat them up.
Okay, so we're going to put these on the grill around the outside edge, basically, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and I know we talked off air during the break about how do you know when your coals are ready to be able to put that food on? How do you know what the temperature is? Now, you can invest in a good grilling thermometer to check to see if your meats are done. By hand over the coals, about 6 inches above the coals. We were talking, you don't want to do the stupid caveman trick and put your hand right on the grill grate or really close to the coals. So about 6 inches above the grate, and then depending on how long you can hold it there before you have to pull your hand away, for low heat, you want to be able to keep your hand there for 12 seconds. For medium-low heat, you count to 10, and you can do 1 barbecue, 2 barbecue, 3 barbecue, and so that's ready. And for high heat, 3 seconds is all it takes, and you know that your coals are ready if you need to cook your food products on a high heat. So Bill has those started. As I said, you can go to Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly and check out all the different flavors that they have for their almost world famous brats, and they make these up right at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly so that you can get whatever flavors you like. We're going to be doing the cheddar, and what was it called again? The cheddar?
Bacon cheddar,
cheddar,
pineapple teriyaki.
And pineapple teriyaki. And I know they have lots of other great flavors as well. So check that out. Also, as I mentioned, you can call ahead if there's specific things in the meat case, in their specialty meat case, or meat counter that you've had before, and you know that you want it to be there for when you're coming in for a party or whatever. Make sure that you call ahead, because it doesn't take them long to prep that and to get it ready for you, maybe just a day or two's notice. And then are you going to start the pork chops now? Can you do both at the same time?
I can.
Okay.
I was
just like you can walk and chew gum, right?
I can.
Okay. Okay. We need to take a break. We're going to start getting the pork chops prepped. We'll be back after these messages.
Tune in for Dr. Bert Callahan and Luke Luncher on their informational talk show presented by Agnesian Healthcare this Tuesday at 11:10 a.m. on WBEV. The topic this month is all about complementary and alternative medicine. They can answer any questions that you have, so please feel free to call 885-4446. You won't want to miss it. That's this Tuesday at 11:10 a.m. on WBEV with Dr. Bert Callahan and Luke Luncher, brought to you by Agnesian Healthcare.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
How much do you have to save for retirement? It depends, but the good news is that we can help you figure it out. This is Sandy Heyer from Heyer Insurance and the Senior Solutions Show on WBEV. Retirement will be so much more enjoyable when you know you have a plan and you know you'll have enough. Call Heyer Insurance or stop in at our office at the Heritage Village Mall and we'll start planning with you. And tune in to Senior Solutions at 11:10 Fridays here on WBEV.
Fall River invites you to their annual village-wide rummage sale and brat fry this Friday and Saturday. The streets will be filled with great deals, and the Fall River Chamber will be serving brats, burgers, and hot dogs both days from 10 until 3 on the corner of North Main and South Street in Fall River. Maps are available at the Fall River Chamber website. This message brought to you by Lost Lake Acres, Rupert Chiropractic, Schumann Printers, Froshine and Green, Village of Fall River, VitaPlus, WB Equipment, and Extra Storage and Space Store.
And now back to Brenda and the Idea Exchange.
And we've got the brats on the grill. It smells delicious. I wish I could waft that aroma out to you so that you could get that great smell as well. They're looking like they're just about done. It doesn't take too long for bratwurst, does it, Bill?
It's going to take a little bit yet.
Okay.
Probably, well, I guess almost done. 5-7 minutes.
Okay. So total time, because those are nice sized brats, and about 15 minutes total, about 7 each side. You want to flip them halfway through about?
Halfway through.
Okay, all right. And next you're going to prep a Smithfield Prime pork chop. Is it bone-in or boneless?
It's a bone-in, thick cut.
Thick cut pork chop. And any prep work on that? What do you need to do with that?
There's not a lot, because I picked up this barbecue rub from the store, and we have a ton of rubs there now, just a lot of flavors. So I'm going to rub it with this and put it on there, and then a little later we'll do the pineapple salsa.
Okay, and I know that Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly has a lot of great rubs because I've used a number of them. When I made prime rib for Christmas dinner, I got that at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, and they suggested a rub to put on there, which made it taste just incredible when it was done. And just last weekend, before I did the cooking weekend with my daughter, we have a recipe from Wild Tree that we both love. It uses chicken. This was the hamburger one. They're called Chipotle burgers, and it uses a Wild Tree Chipotle seasoning mix along with a Rancher's rub mix. And we make those up in advance. I grill them, and then we package them up individually with the shrink wrap to make sure that all the air is out. And when we want to have a burger, we just go in and thaw it out, and you can microwave it, and it's just like it's right off the grill. And I didn't have any of the Wild Tree seasoning, so I went to Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, and Marty was working, and I said, Marty, what would be the best type of seasoning? I don't like anything real spicy, but just enough to give it kind of that similar flavor. He steered me in the right direction, and those burgers taste fantastic. So I would highly recommend checking out all the different rubs. They have a great seafood rub. I think that was last year when you cooked salmon, Bill. He had this seafood seasoning, and I have since used that on my salmon and that I have grilled. So if you are in doubt or you're looking for something new, ask the guys in the meat department, and they'll be able to steer you in the right direction for the seasonings. And these last a while, even though it seems like it's a big jar. Once you start using them, you will enjoy the flavor that it brings to the meat or your seafood or your chicken or whatever. And again, many different types of flavors that you can use. So check those out exclusively at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. Now, what Bill did is season both sides of that Smithfield Prime pork, and you can get the Smithfield Prime at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. He just used that seasoning, rubbed that on there a little bit on both sides, and again, the thick cut bone-in pork chop is going to make a delicious, tender, moist meal. If you like pork and you want to try something new, if you haven't tried the Smithfield Prime, it doesn't have any of the salt solution additives. It's
no hormones, no steroids.
No hormones or steroids. Very natural flavor and taste to the meat. And let's see, do we want to get started on one more? I think we have about 5 minutes before we head to news. So do you want to talk about the pineapple?
I can start the pineapple salsa. So I just took the bottom and the top off with a knife. I'm going to skin it here with my knife.
And do you follow along the curve, or do you just do kind of a straight cut? How do you do that?
Around the curve.
Okay.
Try to get into where the little knots are in there to get out all the brown parts on it. And then this is how I would do it for grilling for the slices. I'm just going to go around the core of it.
And you make about two slices all the way down,
about
right?
About two, yeah. And
okay.
I'm not going to use all of this today. This is quite a bit of pineapple, but I really like it. I really like the flavor that the grill gives it. So then basically I'm just left with the core.
Okay.
I may have to move the mic over here because I'm going to have to start.
Yeah. Talking while you're there. Well, I can come over by you, and I can hold the microphone up to you, too.
Okay.
So you're just going to put that on the grill without any seasoning or flavoring or anything like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, because that's going to get a smoky flavor, and whoops.
It will. It'll caramelize it a little, make it a little sweeter.
Okay. And how thick? Is that about a half inch?
About a half inch.
About a half inch slice. Okay. We've got quite a bit on that grill, so you can see that the Weber holds, we've got the sweet corn started. I asked Bill to bring some sweet corn, too, because I love sweet corn on the grill, and it really isn't that difficult to do either, is it, Bill?
No, I don't soak my sweet corn when I do it. I've found that, I found that it stays tender and juicy if you don't. I do peel off a couple layers of it.
Oh, okay.
Because I do like it to get a little charred under there.
Okay.
You can also, when it's done, you can just get a quick char from it to give it a little more flavor. When the corn is done, peel it all back and then get it that way. You can also soak it in your sink with water, fill it with water, and put in a couple tablespoons of salt and just soak it for about 15 minutes. And it's almost like a vegetable brine, if you want to say.
Okay, so the pineapple has gone on the grill. We've got the pork chops on the grill. The bratwurst is almost finished, and everything is smelling so good, looking so delicious. I can't wait to try and test some of those out. Again, remember, Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly has a large selection of different bratwurst flavors. It's their Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly almost world-famous brats. They also have a lot of different pub burgers and flavors there, and we'll be talking about that in the last half hour of the program. So you can see that grilling is really pretty easy. I still am kind of a grilling novice because I'm always afraid I'm going to wreck the food by not having the coals at the right temperature, or keeping it on the grill too long, or not cooking it enough. But Weber grill cooking is very easy. You just have to get the coals going, and you have to be present. It's not something like you can really walk away from. You have to be able to watch what's happening so that you don't leave the items on the grill too long. But there are many different things that you can cook with your charcoal grill. So we've been giving you a couple of little different tips about cooking on the grill. And if you want to do vegetables on the grill, just lightly coat them in olive oil before grilling, because that will help prevent sticking. We're going to send it back to you, John Kraft, and we'll be back after the news and sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Brenda. It is now 10:30, and again, our forecast looking pretty good. We'll get some share of sunshine, and but basically we do have some wet weather in the offing. We'll get, of course, the Weather Eye forecast after we check in with news from Craig. But right now, let's get this 60-second ABC News update.
President Trump speaking the day after Robert Mueller broke his 2-year silence about the Russia investigation.
You know who got me elected? You know who got me elected? I got me elected. Russia didn't help me at all.
But earlier this morning, the president tweeted something different. He wrote, quote, "I had nothing to do with Russia helping me to get elected." Before departing the White House, he also was asked about reports a staffer requested the USS John McCain be moved out of sight while the president was visiting Japan.
John McCain, I wasn't a fan, but I would never do a thing like that.
The president delivers commencement remarks at the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado today. In Missouri, Planned Parenthood is in court today fighting the closure of the only abortion clinic in that state. That could happen this weekend. 3 Mississippi residents are suing to block what they call the state's racist method of electing the governor and other statewide officials. The federal lawsuit says the system dilutes the black vote. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 19 points. I'm Scott Goldberg, ABC News.
It is 10:31 and time for a WBEV News Update brought to you by Prairie Ridge Assisted Living in Beaver Dam, Waupun, and Mayville. Life celebrated daily. Here's Craig Warmberg.
Personnel with the Dodge County Sheriff's Office and County Emergency Management Department were recognized yesterday for helping 2 women give birth. Communications Officer Pete Kazmarski took a 911 call on March 10th and assisted in the successful birth, all while notifying EMS exactly 2 months later on May 10th. Deputy Emergency Management Director Joe Maher, along with Communications Lieutenant Christine Churchill and Court Security Deputy Kelly Cotter, helped a second expecting mom give birth on the steps of the courthouse. Sheriff Dale Schmidt presented his staff yesterday with a Dodge County Sheriff's Office Challenge coin for their excellent work. They all received a letter of commendation as well. The Beaver Dam Police Department detailed driving and texting laws for us recently on WBEV's Community Comment. The conversation was kickstarted by a caller who said they have noticed far too many people checking their phones rather than observing the road, especially near schools. Sergeant Jeremiah Johnson says the texting and driving law does not prohibit drivers from using their phones. He says the law only prevents drivers from texting, not using their GPS, changing a song on their device, or checking an email. Johnson says while he has not written any texting and driving citations during his time on the force, he has cited motorists for inattentive driving, which covers a more broad range of offenses. Says it's best, though, just to pull over to the side of the road to operate electronic devices. Officials with the Columbus Community Hospital are offering patients who may have been affected by a recent data breach free access to fraud consultation and identity theft restoration services. A company that provides claims management services to the hospital learned that an email phishing scam may have resulted in an unauthorized access to patient information. It's not clear if information specific to Columbus Hospital patients was actually viewed by anyone. The data that may have been compromised generally included Social Security numbers, individual names, hospital account numbers, names of insurer, summary of charges, and categories of service. At this time, there's no evidence of any actual or attempted misuse of the information. If you think you may have been impacted, though, you'll find contact information with this news story at dailydodge.com. A Cambridge woman charged yesterday with bringing illegal contraband into Fox Lake Correctional. Margaret Gordon allegedly attempted to smuggle a balloon filled with chewing tobacco inside a piece of clothing on April 19th. At first, Gordon denied the accusations, but later allegedly admitted to her actions when informed that she was caught on camera. If convicted, the 35-year-old facing no more than 3.5 years behind bars. She's got an initial appearance slated next month. Beaver Dam residents have a chance to show their kids a MedFlight helicopter and meet local emergency officials this weekend. The Beaver Dam Community Hospital is holding its annual Safety First open house on Saturday. The free event also includes fatal vision goggle demonstration, CPR instruction, free paper shredding and expired medication drop-off, and child ID fingerprinting and DNA kits. Beaver Dam Police Department will be hosting a bike rodeo with safety inspections and bike helmet giveaways. Safety First runs Saturday from 9 a.m. until noon. We'll check sports right here in just a minute.
Prairie Ridge Assisted Living has 3 amazing locations in our area: Beaver Dam, Waupun, and now a brand new center in Mayville. When it comes to assisted living, Prairie Ridge knows the importance of finding the right place that feels like home. And that's why they offer spacious apartment-like rooms that are small pet friendly. With in-room rehab services from physical to speech therapy, they are able to cater to many needs. They also have an on-site hair salon, theater, activities room, full kitchen service, and on-site chapel. Prairie Ridge offers 24/7 care, complete with visiting physicians. Your physical and mental well-being is their top priority. Stop by and visit one of their 3 locations today, or go online to schedule a private tour at prairieridgeassisted.com. Prairie Ridge Assisted Living, where home is first and assisted living is second.
Award-winning news you can count on, AM 1430 WBEV.
In sports, the family says a Celebrating the Legacy of Bart Starr service will be held June 9th in Birmingham, Alabama. The service 1 week from Sunday will be located in the Wright Center on the Samford University campus. Starr's son says plans are currently being made to hold a similar service in Green Bay. No details been released on that yet. Starr became the starting quarterback for the Packers under new head coach Vince Lombardi 60 years ago for the 1959 season. He led his team to 5 NFL titles, earning the nickname Titletown for Green Bay. Milwaukee Brewers open up a 4-game series against the Pirates tonight, a game you can listen to on AM 1430 WBEV coverage underway at 5:30. In boys high school baseball, WIAA regional finals action from yesterday. Marquezan defeated Columbus 4-2. Waupun shut out Ripon 7-0. Winnebago Lutheran over Eustisford Dodgeland also 7-0. I'm Craig Warnbold with this check of news. You see news happen, call our tip line at 885-4442.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. We'll see a blend of clouds and sunshine developing here for this afternoon with a high into the lower 70s. Winds out of the northwest between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low near 50, and west winds around 5 to 10. Friday, we'll have a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops with a high around 81. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujicic, scan your hometown station AM 1430 WBEV. Currently, it's 62.
And the news was brought to you by Prairie Ridge Assisted Living in Beaver Dam, Waupun, and Mayville. Life celebrated daily. 10:38. Now let's go back outside to Brenda and the Idea Exchange.
And I'm here with Bill Leisses. The bratwurst are done. The pork chops are done. I did get a bite of that. Delicious. They're charred on the outside, but it's so tender and juicy on the inside. It's just incredible. And, of course, that's the Smithfield Prime Pork, which Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly just started carrying in the last few months, exclusively at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. And it is just the top of the line, top quality pork that you'll want to look for that label when you go shopping. The pineapple is done. We've got that grilled, and we're going to put the burger on right now, right?
Put the burger on, and then I'll make the pineapple salsa.
Okay. And I know that a tip or trick you might try, maybe you already do this, is you just put your thumb in the middle of that burger patty right before you put it on the grill, like so. And the reason you do that is because the hamburger itself is going to puff up during cooking time. And if you don't do that little indentation, you might find that your burger gets more rounded. If you just do that little indentation before you put the burger on the grill, it will cook nice and flat, and it, of course, fits in the hamburger bun a little bit better. So another tip that you might want to consider. Now, we're using the bourbon hamburger patty, and Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly offers many different varieties of pub burgers. You can get, I think they have like a green and gold. They've got a cheddar, right? Cheddar.
They got a bacon cheddar. They have a jalapeno cheddar.
They have this, the bourbon hamburger and other stuff. They also have that with their chicken. If you stop in the specialty meat department, you can get chicken breasts in a lot of different flavors. I know they have a Door County cherry that I have tried. They also have, trying to think what are some of my other favorites. There's a garlic chicken. I think there's is there teriyaki? Is there bourbon chicken?
There's a hickory or mesquite one also.
Yep. So there are many different flavors in that too. So if you haven't stopped back at the meat case recently, check that out, especially for grilling, because you can get just the number of burgers or brats or chicken breasts that you want or that you need. You can cook them all up and enjoy them. So you've got the pineapple all diced, right?
Just dice the pineapple, and then I'm going to add some of this is our homemade pico de gallo. We just started packaging this pico de gallo like this. There's a mild one, there's a spicy. We're also doing other salsas out there. They're located in the produce department, but there's a black bean salsa that's already ready to go. There's a pineapple one, a fruit salsa. We're doing some of those cinnamon tortilla chips to go with the fruit salsa, along with our homemade tortilla chips and potato chips.
Okay. So we grilled the pineapple, cut it into slices, and about a half-inch thick, put that on the grill, and got it a little bit charred so that you get sort of that caramelized flavor. Put that in a bowl, add the special pico de gallo that, again, you can get at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. So all of the dicing of the onion and the herbs, everything else that's in there is already pre-done for you. So it makes it just so easy.
There's the cilantro, onion, and the tomato.
And so that's all taken care of. You just add that roasted pineapple, and you've got a great salsa to go with your pork. And you can also, in the Beaver Dam produce department, when you purchase that pineapple, if you don't have time to cut the pineapple yourself. You can let Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly do that for you. You can buy the pre-cut pineapple. It's already in a container in rings, so you could put those on the grill and top your hamburger with that and make a great tasting Hawaiian burger. So, oh, that looks great. That looks great. And as I mentioned, the pork is so tender and so juicy on the grill that way. And we still got the corn that is cooking, and we need to take one break. We'll be back after these messages.
Whether you're working in the yard or smoking your famous barbecue ribs, Fleet Farm has everything you need for spring. This week, save on things like Turf Builder Weed and Feed, $39.99 after rebates. A Charbroil 4-burner grill, $169.99. Deluxe 10-inch hanging basket, $17.99. And Frontline Plus Flea and Tick Pet Protection, $35.99. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
It's your anniversary. For years, you've been promising your wife that someday you'd adorn her in rubies and garnets, but it's taking another man to actually do it. What'll he do to your marriage? Well, he'll stir your emotions and reignite the passion. In fact, he'll be able to express love for your wife in a way you can't. He's your florist, and he's right down the street at Gene's Beaver Floral. He'll create the most beautiful bouquet of ruby roses and garnet-colored lilies. They'll take your wife's breath away. She'll say you can be quite romantic. Well, thanks to your florist, at least you won't be a hopeless one. Call Gene's Beaver Floral at 885-3365 and let them create something unique for your next anniversary or special occasion. Gene's Beaver Floral, experts in the art of expression, a member of the Society of American Florists. Gene's Beaver Floral, located at 125 North Spring Street, and the floral department at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, voted Beaver Dam's #1 florist year after year. Visit their website, jeansbeaverfloral.com.
BDCH Surgical Specialist, your surgical solutions right at home. With experienced surgeons using state-of-the-art technology, offering advanced, minimally invasive procedures that allow you to spend less time traveling and more time recovering. Our laparoscopic techniques and Da Vinci Xi surgical system ensure the smallest incisions and quicker recovery. If you're facing surgery, tell your physician you prefer to stay close to home. Visit bdch.com/surgery or call 920-887-0379.
Check out the latest station and community events on DailyDodge.com. Brought to you by Rolling Meadows Golf Course.
And now back to Brenda and the Idea Exchange.
You know, this time around with Cooking with Bill on the Grill, we did not cover kebabs, but if you're going to be doing either vegetable kebabs or seafood kebabs or even chicken kebabs, whatever, and you get the bamboo skewers, one tip that you might want to keep in mind is you can soak, you're supposed to soak the wooden skewers before you put them on the grill just so that they don't start on fire, and you want to soak them about 15 to 30 minutes. But you can do this in advance, soak the whole entire package, and then you just put those in your freezer, and when you're ready to do kebabs, you just pull out the number that you need. They're already pre-soaked. You don't have to worry about taking time to do that. So a little tip to kind of keep in mind. Also, what else did I want to share? Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit about the rubs that you use, because I know you don't want to just really rub hard into the meat with those rubs because it can ruin the meat fiber. So do you just sort of shake it on and pat it down? I didn't see if you while you were
I massage it in there a little bit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to just get overzealous about it, right?
Evenly coated. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it'll detract from the, too much rub will detract from the flavor of the meat that you're using also.
And you would apply rubs just right before it goes on the grill, correct? Or not necessarily? Do you?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Like with my ribs, sometimes I'll rub those and let them sit overnight. It just kind of marinates.
Okay.
I mean, you can, like with this, I put it on and then put
Right
it
away.
directly on the grill right away.
Okay, but maybe for, say, like a not so tender cut of meat, you would want to maybe tenderize that and let it sit.
It will. The salt in it will help break it down.
And so that then
make
it's
it
a little bit more tender when it cooks. And I know, too, that if you're using a brown sugar rub, you want to make sure that you do that not real heavy either, because the sugar can cause a fire in your in your grill. So you want to be careful with that, right?
Yeah, you don't want the burnt sugar.
No, that's right. That's right. Okay, so we're to kind of the last item that you've been grilling today, and that is the sweet corn.
It's the corn, and with the corn that I grill, I just make sure that it's charred all the way around.
Okay.
And then it's done. Literally after that, it's done. It's steaming in its husk, and like I said, I've got some char on there which I like right there. You know, if you like a little more, you can put it right back on the grill for just a couple minutes. I wouldn't put it on that much longer because it'll start to dry out.
Okay.
But if you want a little bit more char on it, and that's just like the first of the year corn here.
So nice and sweet.
Yeah.
That's right. So, so as if you're just tuning in, Bill did not pre-soak the corn. He just took a few of the husks off so that it wasn't quite as thick. That way that char can come through onto the corn, and you want to make sure that it's charred all the way around the corn, and that way you know it's done.
It's done. And it's still, I mean, I'm pressing on a little bit. It's not dried out. It's nice and tender.
And so we have the Smithfield Prime pork. It was a bone-in pork chop, thick cut, so that you can get that charbroiled flavor all the way through. We've got the bourbon burger on a homemade bun from Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly Bakery. The brats that we did, the pineapple teriyaki and the bacon cheddar brats, are all done. And
what should we feed Ninja? Bacon cheddar?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Oh boy. Okay, bacon cheddar.
Yeah. And just a couple of other things that I wanted to have you talk about in food prep. It's really important when you're working with raw food that it doesn't touch any of your other foods, or that when you've got the raw food that you're putting on the grill, that then you use different utensils and a different plate or whatever, so that the raw food doesn't touch once the food is grilled. So maybe share a little bit about that, if you would.
Like with the brats, those were raw. The hamburger was raw. You know, I'd worry about the chicken is real.
It's more touchy, right?
Is more touchy versus a pork, and the beef also. Beef and chicken, I would say, were the worst. But yeah, I mean, keep them separated. Don't let them touch. And then and I mean, use different utensils to flip them, spatula, tongs.
Right. So if you have the utensils that you're using at the grill should be different than the ones in the house that you're prepping or putting those burgers or things into the pan or whatever. And your raw items, if you're making hamburger patties and you put those in one pan, then you want a different pan once they come off the grill, just to keep everything safe. Maybe, let's see, what else did we not cover? Oh, you didn't do a marinade today, but when basting with marinades, can you share a couple of tips about that?
I start to cook whatever it might be first, the chicken, a pork, a beef. I start to cook it first. You're talking about just like a basting,
or like
say a barbecue sauce or whatever it might be.
Yeah, not a marinade, but a barbecue sauce.
I do it when the item is almost done. So it doesn't burn, char, give off a bad flavor.
Okay.
But yet you want to, heat that barbecue sauce up, say, or your marinade.
Right, and you want it to somewhat stick to the chicken or the beef, the ribs, whatever it might be. That yes. Okay. Well, we hope that you enjoyed today's program. Again, remember, Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly has a lot of great ways that you can make the perfect grill throughout the entire summer season. The bratwurst that's available, there are many different flavors, so just head back to the specialty meat counter. And as I mentioned earlier, if you like a particular kind of brat, maybe your favorite is like Daryl's, the pineapple teriyaki, you can call ahead a couple of days ahead of time to make sure that they will have the number on hand that you need. If you want to check out their different pub burgers, they've got lots of great burgers. It's the Beaver Dam, they make those up right there with all of those different specialty flavorings. And again, you can do them outside on the grill. You can cook them inside in the skillet or under your broiler during the winter time. They also have a lot of great different chicken products that are also marinated, pre-marinated.
Right.
So you can go home and enjoy the flavor, and the work is all done for you. Same with the pico de gallo that you have and all of the other salsa starters, would they kind of be? Or
Yes. Oh, and Jen did say if you don't want to buy a whole pineapple, you can. We have a great cut fruit program where you can just go in and your fruit's already cut. You know, some of it's mixed. You know, you can buy the pineapple and the rings already cut, cleaned for you. You don't have to worry about anything.
And that is often a good idea, especially if you decide spur of the moment to go on a picnic or to head to an outdoor music concert or something like that. Stop in at Beaver Dam Deli Department. You can get everything you need, whether it's the cut fruit or the veggies. If you're going to be grilling while you're on this picnic, you can stop by the specialty meat counter, pick up what you need for that as well. And it's all just really so convenient. And then don't forget about the rubs, because Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly has a large assortment of different rubs, whatever your flavor taste might lead you to, whether it's Italian or a Southwestern or more Cajun or Louisiana blend,
They have all those,
all different kinds of things. And whether you're cooking up seafood or beef or chicken or doing the burgers, you can always add the seasonings to those as well. So I want to thank you, Bill, for stopping in again today. We've got some great food to enjoy. And remember, you can check out and purchase the same great items at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. And their pub burgers, their bratwurst, the Smithfield Prime pork. If you haven't tried that yet, you really want to do that because it is the most tender, the most juicy, and Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly is always striving to have the most highest quality for you in whatever product they're putting out there. So you can check out all those different things. And remember, if you have a question, you can just ask anybody at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly, and if they don't know the answer, they will direct it to someone who does. I think we've kind of covered food prep. We've covered how to cook, the way to use the grill, indirect heat versus direct heat, charcoal grill versus the gas grill. Anything else that you want to add?
We're going to be grilling, what, July?
I think yes, you'll be back here in July.
Maybe would it be a good idea if people let us know what they wanted us to grill?
Sure, that's a good idea. If you want to call into the program,
what do you think?
ID Exchange. The phone number is 920-885-4446, and you can call me and share that, or you can just send an email, ideaexchange@goodkarmabrands.com, and then we'll take all of your thoughts into consideration. I know last year we did salmon. I think we did cactus leaves.
We did a Mexican theme.
Yep.
Yeah. So if somebody.
So whatever you're interested in, send it our way, and we'll look over all those options and decide what we're going to do in July. That wraps it up for us today, and we're going to send it back to you, John.
All right, thanks a lot, Brenda. It is 10:56 a.m. 1430. WBEV will get one of those great fun hits of the 50s, 60s, and 70s to take us